see the one viewer, that's got to be her because she's the only one who really gives a damn about me. Yeah, come on. You guys know you don't give a shit. If you did, you'd hit that like and you'd let me know. And you'd let me know. I do this for her because she's the only one who cares. I love you, honey. Mwah. Now just tell me that you're here so I can move on. Honey, type it. I'm here. Come on. There it is. Oh, wait, Caroline. Hey, what's up, honey? You beat my wife to this. Ah, thanks. Honey, I can't believe it. Caroline got here before you. Anyway, doesn't matter. I know that you love me. And now that I got somebody here checking me out, knowing that I'm good to go, we're going to start doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man. What's up, my boy Joel, a.k.a. Scotty Costa, who is live streaming this, multi-streaming it, hooking me up by placing it on the what is it called? On the YouTube thing. He's got a channel up there. You guys should subscribe to him. And this way you can catch it on YouTube in case you can't be on Facebook or you can't be here. And I love you too, Caroline. I miss you very much, honey. There she is. Okay, now that the wife is here, and now that I know that she's here because she actually likes to watch this, I'm going to get ready to start. Make sure that you're clicking on to the thumbs up. You can do a love. You can do a thumbs up. You can do a hate. I don't give a shit. Whatever it is, just let me know that you're here. So today, the topic is going to be the perfect album. Now, when I say the perfect album, I'm obviously talking about what I like, what I think is the perfect album. And what I'm going to need you guys to do is in the chat, make sure that you put in your perfect album. Okay? And give me 1 or 2 songs off of that album. Why is it the perfect album? Now, there's some things that when I was talking to my wife about it, I said, I'm going to do this. And she gave me some ideas, and I was like, I can't do that. So there's some albums that are not here. Okay? So albums that are compilation albums. Like that's what I call a perfect album. No, those are not here. Because now I'm just picking and choosing songs. Greatest hits are also not here. All right? Otherwise, this would be an entire list of greatest hits. And maybe in the future, we might do a greatest hits. What's the greatest hits album? Maybe in the future, but we're not doing that today. I also, with the exception of one, I didn't include soundtracks. And now I included one soundtrack because it was a problem. Who talks about it? It's either called The Album or it's called Music from the Movie. Okay, and we'll get to that when I get to it. Okay, I also tried to not include, and I don't think I did, multiple albums. So like Ps or 3 LPs or 178 LPs. I didn't include those because there was too much of an opportunity to screw it up. The more songs you have, what's up, Mike? The more songs you have, the more chance for it not to be a perfect album. And examples of that are like Pink Floyd's The Wall, about as close to perfect as you can do it. Tommy by The Who. All Things Must Pass by George Harrison. All great albums and close to it. Close to it. But no. And Caroline, that's a good guess for a proper album that was a soundtrack. But no, it's not Prince's soundtrack to Batman. Which, by the way, hit double platinum, I believe. Bat Dance. Really? The Bat Dance? Anyway. All right, so I give it, thanks, Joel, putting up that link for YouTube if you guys want to go and watch it over there. And I got 8 viewers and I got 3 people who clicked the freaking thumbs up. Come on, people. Hook me up. Go ahead. There should be at least 8. If I got 8 viewers, I should have 8 freaking thumbs up. Come on. I'm doing this for you. Do something for me, for the love of God. Anyway, so let's start it. Let us start my 11 perfect albums. Now, reminder, these albums, to me, are perfect. They from the first song to the last song, they run smoothly to me. Some of you might agree, some of you might not. Some of these albums are like the most famous of the bands. Some of them, any kind of music, any kind of music. And you're gonna see as I roll out this list. And by the way, what's up, brother? You're gonna see as I roll out this list that you can see all kinds of music. Okay, I take a little bit from here, I take a little bit from there, I take from everywhere because I like all kinds of music. Okay, but it doesn't have to be what's considered the best album from the band. It doesn't have to be what's considered the highest rated, the most awards, the highest selling. It doesn't have to be any of that. Gina, keep your keep your ears open. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. And also, if I don't mention the album that you are bringing up, then there's probably a good reason for it. If you get my drift. Juan says Godsmack changes. Do me a favor, throw a couple songs on there. Why is that? Why do you think that's a perfect album? I'm going to start with I'm going to start my first two. My first two are 1A and 1B as far as my favorite albums of all time. Number one, this is from 1973. Hit number one on the Billboard charts. Certified 15 platinum. 15 times platinum. It is the epic, the incredible, the greatest album of all time, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Now, actually, it's one of two. But to me, that is incredible album. I own, where is it? Right over there. Okay. All right. So if you see that symbol, it's a purple symbol. That belongs to that was Nick Mason's autograph by him. He was the drummer for Pink Floyd. And right underneath it is a case that has 28 copies of Dark Side of the Moon. Yes, 28 copies of it. I love that album. I love that album a lot. It means the world to me. And some of the standout tracks. And Todd, what's up? He's coming. If you guys know Todd, he's got the Cure Disintegration on there. Of course he does. I'm a big Cure fan. Juan hitting me up with that Godsmacks. Some of the songs on them. Voodoo, great song. Alive and Crying Like a Bitch. Ha! Yes, that actually is a good album. But for me, Dark Side of the Moon, it was the first album I had to start with. Like when I wrote this, it's like bam. Before I even started figuring out what I was to do, bam, Dark Side of the Moon was number one. Some of the standout tracks in my eyes, hey brother, Todd, is Time, Money, The Great Gig in the Sky. If you have never heard The Great Gig in the Sky, and that's one of those songs that's a little bit of a deeper cut on Dark Side, but if you've never heard it, it's an instrumental. It's pretty much an instrumental. Okay. Dude, get it at the right time. It'll change your life. And I mean that seriously. Juan hitting us up with Metallica Master Puppets. That's a nice one. And then, of course, the combination of the last two songs on the album, Brain Damage and Eclipse. What a masterpiece. What a masterpiece. The album, which spent a total of 1,716 weeks on the Billboard Top 200 chart since it was released. 1,716 weeks, and had a consecutive run of 593 weeks from 1976 to 1988. At one point, every 1 in 14 people in the United States owned that album. 1 in 14. There's a reason. There's a reason. It's a great, incredible album, and tied tied for number one of my favorite albums with this one right here at the top. That is my triple certification, certified platinum award for Depeche Mode, Violator. That is my 1B of my two perfect albums. Violator by Depeche Mode came out in 1990. It was the breakout. Yeah, Todd, you're right. If you don't like Dark Side, do you even like music? I mean, why are we even talking? Why are you here? Why are you here? Get out of here with your stuff. Everybody loves Pink Floyd. Blondie, Parallel Lines by Ike. Gina with Pantera, Vocal Display of Powers. For Ike, hey, R.I.P. Clem Burke, who just passed away, drummer for Blondie. And what an incredible drummer. Wow, what an incredible drummer. People compared him to his hero, which was Keith Moon. And it's one of those things where it's like, I wish I would have paid more attention while he was alive. Because if you ever hear the song Dreaming by Blondie and you listen to his drumming, wow, you can see how he was inspired by Keith Moon. John, what's up, my brother? REM Life's Rich Pageant. That's what he's got to say. Great REM album. Let's get back to my number two, which is Violator. Depeche Mode 1990, the breakout album for Depeche Mode. You know, how does a dark band take a darker turn? You know, they were known for a you know, being a little gothic, you know, right there with The Cure and with Susie and the Banshees and with the Smiths in a darker tone. But man, they released a live album, Live 101, which you know, a great album, by the way. It's a great double album, live album. Maybe when I do live albums, we'll talk about that. But then they come out with Violator. Woo! Reached number 7 on the Billboard charts. 3-time certified platinum, as I showed you by my platinum album. And had 4 singles released: World in My Eyes, Personal Jesus, Enjoy the Silence, and Policy of Truth. What, I mean, you want to talk about a batch of singles that were released that were incredible. That's it right there. And what do we got here real quick? Juan with Rush Moving Pictures, Gina with Michael Jackson's Thriller, Scott, what's up, Scott, with Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Todd throwing in saying that his favorite is Black Celebration. Great Depeche Mode album. But there's something when they come back with Violator, which puts them on a whole different level. They followed that one up with Songs of Faith and Devotion. Incredible album too. But Violator is to me means something, mainly because when I first got that album, I had moved to Fort Lauderdale with my brother, and my brother was a recovering addict. God rest his soul, he's passed away since then. But to me, you know, when you talk about music and how you gravitate to it and how it takes on a whole new meaning, Violator, if you listen it from the beginning track to the end, and of course right now the beginning track is escaping me. I believe it's World in My Eyes. And the end track, which is Clean, it's the journey of a person getting addiction, becoming an addict, and then getting clean. And again, just look at the track listing, and it'll and you will get. I'm sure you'll get, especially if you know anybody who's recovering through addiction or has recovered from addiction. It's such a powerful album. And of course, living with my brother, who at that time was a few years clean, it just caught me that way. Standout tracks for that, even with the 4 hits the 4 singles that became hits, 2 tracks that I think you really should listen to: Halo and Clean. The last song, Clean, the cleanest I've been, and then to the tears and the in between years and the troubles I've seen. Now I'm clean. It's just like that's and again, as I was doing a little bit of research for all this stuff, the album has nothing to do with addiction. But to me, there is no way that I can ever separate that album from addiction. And so it's a beautiful album. I want you guys to really take a listen to it if you get a chance, and listen to it the whole way through. The whole way through, just like Todd says, it's the only way to listen to a lot of these albums. Real quick, Gina says Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. I believe Rumors is one of the top 3 best-selling albums of all time. However, it didn't make my list. Sorry, honey. And who else? Oh, and Ike says Social Distortion's Mommy's Little Monster. Great album. Scott, I think I said I gave him his shout out with Black Sabbath, Paranoid. And then and real quick, Rick, who comes in, he's checking in, says Depeche Mode was very popular in the clubs in Juarez, Mexico during the late 80s and early 90s. Really? You know what? I can't say that I see it or I don't see it. American, well, it's not American, it's English, but English music in the sense of English vocals, very popular around the world, and a lot of non-English speaking countries, the fans listen to them to learn how to speak English, believe it or not. That and through through movies. Mm-hmm. Rick, who says there wouldn't be Depeche Mode without Duran Duran 7 in the Ragged Tiger. I'm going to disagree with you. There would be a Depeche Mode without 7 and the Ragged Tiger. We can agree to disagree, though. Ike Spades comes with Kiss, Alive 1 and 2. 1 was the album that put him on the map. A lot of people don't realize that. Kiss had 3 albums before they put out Alive. Just like a lot of other bands, some bands put out albums they put out and it doesn't connect, even though they're extremely popular, because of the fact that their live performances are so incredible. Kiss was one of them. Cheap Trick Live at Boudica is another one. Peter Frampton, Frampton Comes Alive is another one where you hear the live version of these albums, and all of a sudden, pow! You get the magic of the band. And Kiss Alive 1 is one of those albums. Now, rumor has it, was it Alive? No, it's Kiss Alive 2. Was it all live? A fucking great album either way. Didn't make my list though. Remember, I'm not going to mention albums that made my list. Even though Scott, I'll mention his Dark Side of the Moon because that was the number 1. That's what started us all. That's what started us on this journey, ladies and gentlemen, of my perfect albums. Albums I could hear from track 1 to the last track, straight through, just incredible. And make sure, while you guys are here checking in, that you hit the thumbs up. All right? Let me know that you're here. Again, it doesn't have to be a thumbs up. Some of you guys get really like, yeah, fuck you. I don't want to. You can hit the hate button. I don't care. Frankie Sneed with the album with the blackest cover of all time. It doesn't get any blacker than this. Spinal Tap, Smell the Glove. How can you find that cover? How could you find that cover offensive? Well, sexist. Sexist. What's wrong with being? There's nothing wrong with being sexist. Oh no! You're thinking sexy. Oh! I was thinking the word sexy, not sexist. You're right. Smell the Glove. Great album. Way better than Shark Sandwich. All right, let's go back to my list here. Oh, by the way, Spinal Tap. Number 2 coming out later this year. I can't wait for it. I'm just hoping Rob Reiner doesn't put any of his politics into it. Please, no politics. That's going to be an incredible follow-up, 40 years in the making. I think it's going to be incredible. I really do. And these do go up to 11, 100%. Just like this kid right here. I go up to 11, baby. Even at fucking 58 years old. I go up to 9. But it's the 9 is the equivalent of 11 if I was, 20 years younger. Scott with Pearl Jam 10. Really, really, really good album. All right, my number 3. Now, this band that I'm going to hit you with, to me, they're one of the greatest bands in the world. One of the most successful bands in the world. Okay, one of the most beloved bands in the world. And yet, to me, they've got 4 albums. Their first 3, and this one that I'm going to mention. Their first 3, for those of you who don't know, are Boy, War, and October. Those are their first 3. Then they have a bunch of albums that come out. And then in 1991, after a lot of people have lost faith in them, they hit you up with this classic in 1991. I'm talking about U2, and I'm talking about the album Achtung Baby. It's the album that brought them back to life, that made them relevant again and put them on the road to mega stardom. Not superstardom, mega stardom. A little bit about the album. Okay. They changed their sound from the political 80s, kind of new wave type music of those first 3 albums. And then they go into 90s alternative, a lot of synth, a lot of dance. Just an overall, it's a great album. Reached number 1 on the Billboard chart. It is going to actually be, I believe it's going to be my next platinum album that I get for myself. Achtung Baby by U2. Standout tracks from there. The Fly, Mysterious Way, and a song that would go on to be would go on to a soundtrack of a movie that came out called Until the End of the World. That was such a that song is great. The album is great. No, Frankie, I'm not saying that U2 is all that they're cracked up to be. I just told you. I say they have 4 great albums. Their first 3 and Achtung Baby. A lot of people like Joshua Tree and wasn't much for me. It really wasn't. But Achtung Baby, woo, what an album. What an album. Who we got here? We got John Peters saying Afghan Wigs, gentlemen. A great album. Part of, you know what? They were part of the grunge scene. A lot of people don't realize that. Even though they were from Ohio. A lot of people will include them in the grunge scene. I got to meet, and I can't think of his name, the lead singer of the Afghan Wigs. His name is escaping me right now. But I got to meet him one day, and he gave me an autograph. And in the autograph, he says, bring me the head of Alfredo Torres, which is a reference to a book. Bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia, I think is the book. And it took me a while to get it. I was like, dude, I just met you. Why do you want me dead? But okay, whatever. But yeah, no, it was really interesting. But really eclectic guy. Nice guy, though. I wish I could remember his name. Anyway. So, Greg Dooley. Thank you, John. It was going to kill me. Yes, Greg Dooley. All right, let's move on. This one, you ready for the curve? I don't think you're ready for the curve. Because I'm going to mention a country artist. An incredibly popular country artist. And no, it's not Willie Nelson. And no, it's not It's not Hank Jr. and no, it's not Brooks and Dunn. But I'm going to mention this artist, one of the best-selling artists of the 90s. And then I'm going to give you an album that you're not ready for. The artist is Garth Brooks. And a lot of you right now are shutting this off. You're like, no, screw this. Hey, Jessica, what's up, honey? A lot of you are like, Garth Brooks. No, all right, Alfredo, thanks, bye. Peace out. Talk to you later. No. Hear me out, man. Hear me out. First of all, he's one of the top-selling artists of the 90s. Top-selling country artists of the 90s. Okay? A crossover artist who has more platinum albums than 5 or 6, or actually more diamond albums. You know what diamond is? When you sell 10 million. Okay? 500,000 is gold. 1 million is platinum. 10 million is diamond. He's got more platinum albums than some people got gold. Amazing. He's an amazing artist. You got to give him the props whether you want to or not. Okay. So the album that I have by him, no, not Chris Gaines, his alter ego, which kind of fucking set him down when he tried to go rock with Chris Gaines. No, the album I have by him is his 1997 album called Sevens. Yep, Sevens. And you guys are like, what about Rope in the Wind? What about a self-titled? This to me is a perfect album, start to finish. I love it. It was, first of all, it hit number 1 on the Billboard albums, top 200 albums chart. And yes, Garth Brooks is a huge Kiss fan. And he did on a Kiss compilation, Kiss My Ass was the name of the compilation. He does a version of Hard Luck Woman, which is amazing. But anyway, number 1 on the Billboard album chart, top 200 album chart, not the top country, the top 200 albums of everything, every genre. They throw it in there. That one hit number 1, right? Certified Diamond. Of course, it's Garth Brooks. It's what he did back in the day. To me, it had 2 really amazing drinking songs, and it's part of the reason that I love it. Long Neck Bottle, let go my hand. That one, and 2 Pina Coladas. Danny, what's up? I know the Masters playoff is on. I'm surprised that you're even got this on the background, but I appreciate you, brother. And 2 Pina Coladas. If you ever wanted to hear a song that's a good time drinking song, it's 2 Pina Coladas. Bring me 2 Pina Coladas. I want one for each hand. Let's set sail with Captain Morgan, though we'll never leave dry land. Troubles, I've forgot them. I buried them in the sand. Bring me 2 Pina Coladas. Say goodbye to her good timing man. Because girl cheated on him. And he got like, that's the song. Girl cheated on him. He's like, what the fuck, man? He's like, I can't take it anymore. Goes out to the beach. Ends up like, holy shit. This is what life is about right here. Toes in the sand. Couple drinks in your hand. The ladies all around you. Bring me them. Bring me those drinks. He's also got so those are 2 of my standout tracks. He also had a duet with a lady who would go on to become his future wife, Trisha Yearwood, in Another's Eyes is the name of that song. And another standout track from that album is Bella Wood. Which is a song that's about Bella Wood from World War I. If you don't know the story, it's a story where on Christmas Eve, the English and the Germans stopped fighting, and they got out and exchanged presents, and played soccer and talked, and became and for a second they forgot war. Beautiful, beautiful story. And Frankie, he's a cheater. Okay, so what? So all of them. So's Dave Grohl. So's Johnny Cash. Well, no, I take back Johnny Cash. That man was super religious. But so yeah, who gives? That's between him and his wife. There's a lot of things that I'll turn my back on when it comes to a musician, but not cheating. They all do it. If I was to turn my back on every musician who was a cheater, I'd have no records. So let's move on to. Hey guys, make sure make sure that you're putting your perfect albums. Again, these are albums from the start to the beginning, which you can hear all the way through. You think are great. Doesn't have to be the artist's best album. Doesn't have to be their greatest, most successful, most awarded album. It's got to be your favorite, because that's what this is about. And put a couple songs on there, okay? Put a couple of songs on there so that this way, people can at least, Google those songs and hear those songs and see, maybe we could turn them on to a couple of new albums. That's what I'm hoping. And by the way, real quick, talking about him being a cheater, I was just looking over this shoulder right here, and I see one of my favorite ladies who passed away. That's Christine McVie, and she was in Fleetwood Mac. Talk about cheating. The whole band is cheaters. They all slept with each other. So I mean, we're gonna wipe away some of the greatest music of all time because they cheated. I'm not the moral police. All right, here we go. Here's another album. I bet you a lot of you guys are not expecting. America Must Be Destroyed. Unless that's an album title, brother. Please do not inject politics into this, Frankie. Stop it. Stop it right now. The rest of you guys, however, give me some albums. Hit the thumbs up. Let's go on with my next album. And my other buddy, Joel, is I don't know if he's checking in late or if he's going to be able to make it or not. But this is an album I know he would love. It's Neil Young's Harvest Moon. Number one album by Neil Young. Best-selling album of 1972. Certified 4 times platinum. The album had 2 standout singles that released 2 singles. Old Man and the number 1 hit, Heart of Gold. Just an amazing. Okay. America Must Be Destroyed. It's a Gore masterpiece. All right. Thank you for clarifying that. Harvest by Neil Young. He left Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and then he has some people to help him with this album. And who do you think he has? He gets Crosby, Stills and Nash to do backing vocals on some of the songs of this album. He also has Linda Ronstadt. But are you ready for this? Linda Ronstadt is not background vocals. An incredible voice on Linda Ronstadt's possesses. But no, you know what she's doing on this album? Playing the drums. Linda Ronstadt, who knew she could play the drums? Apparently Neil Young did, because he got her to play it on here. And James Taylor is also on this. The standout tracks on this one are Heart of Gold. Obviously, what a great song. The Needle and the Damage Done. Again, that's a song about addiction and having a brother who was an addict. That song really resonates with me because I have seen The Needle and the Damage Done. And then Old Man, which means more and more to me as the days pass. Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. It's the youth kind of trying to remind us old people that, you know what? Don't be so harsh on them. because they were like we were like them. And you know what? They're right. They're right. We were impulsive. We were reckless. We went against the grain. It's what we all did. And and then as we get older and we settle down and we prioritize our life and we realize that we're not going to live forever, we change a little bit. And sometimes we need to take that step back and kind of remember that as we're a little too critical sometimes of the youth. I know I am. I get critical of youth all the time, and it's like, settle down, Alfredo. You weren't, you were pig-headed when you were young. So incredible album. If you get a chance to listen to it, Frankie, your dad went to high school with Linda Ronstadt back in her Stone Pony days. Well, right after she graduated high school, she was in a band called Stone Ponies. They had a hit with a song called Different Drum before she went solo. All right, we're rolling along here. Make sure you guys are hitting those thumbs up. Make sure you guys are commenting here, letting me know about albums that you think are the perfect album for you. Listen front to back, and make sure you throw a couple tracks in there so that people can check it out. All right, here's my next one. The guy who I'm about to mention has the number one. Well, he goes back and forth. I'm sorry. Depending on the day, he trades back and forth as the number one selling album of all time. Right. One of it is the Eagles' greatest hits, 75 to 79 or whatever the hell it is. It's their second greatest hits album. And the other one is Michael Jackson's Thriller. Right. A lot of people would consider that to be, perfect album. He's got an album that's better than that. And it's the one that came out right before. It came out in 1979. It's Off the Wall. Perfect album. From front to back. Everything about that album is great. Ended up being number 3 on the Billboard Top 200 charts. Certified 9 times platinum. Right? And for Michael Jackson, it was a complete change of his image. Okay? He went from being I actually love the song Rainbow Song Since You've Been Gone. But for Michael Jackson, it was a complete change of his image from the babyface youngster, of the Jackson 5, the adorable, that guy, to this young adult who was about partying, who's about about getting out there and enjoying life. Songs that he had on it. And these are some of the standout songs to me. Okay. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Off the Wall. He had what? This album was so amazing that he became the first artist to have 4 singles from the same album. Solo artist. The first solo artist to have 4 singles from the same album end up on the top 10 charts. Billboard singles charts, the Hot 100. 4 tracks from the same album. Up until him in 1979, it was unheard of. And yet he went and he was able to do it. Standout tracks again. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Off the Wall. And this one song, which to me was a slamming track. I don't know how this song didn't hit number 1, didn't get more love. And it's Working Day and Night. You got me working day and night. I mean, oh my God. What an album. And what a track. Michael Jackson, this is what started him on his way to becoming the king of pop. Off the Wall. To me, his best album. His best album, without a doubt. Okay. I'm going to try not to lose. I know I lost some people when I said Garth Brooks. Happens. What are you going to do? I didn't lose Danny. He's just watching the Masters. And he's got me on the background, so he wasn't paying attention. If he'd have heard that, he probably would have left. If I don't lose you, Frankie, with this one, I'm going to consider it a win. Are you ready? Earlier, we heard some people mention Kiss, right? Kiss Alive 1 and 2. I said I didn't say it, but I didn't put any live albums on here. No, Cinderella. I love Cinderella. Night Songs. What a great album. Shit, I wish I would have thought of that one. It might have made this list. Kiss had a run in the early to mid 70s. What's up, Brian? So Masters is done. Oof. If you want, send a message to my buddy Danny. He was watching the Masters also. So anyway, Kiss had a run of albums in the mid to late 70s, starting, even though it wasn't a big album. It's the album. Oh my God damn it! It's the album that had Rock and Roll Night, Dress to Kill. Started with Dress to Kill, which has got Rock and Roll Over, Destroyer, Love Gun. They hit their peak, right? And then they hit you up with Dynasty. Those albums catapulted Kiss to the top of the mountain. But yet, my perfect album, Kiss Representation, Frankie, you got it. Music from the Elder. In 1981, Kiss, trying to recover, they had just put out Unmasked. Great over in Europe. They did phenomenal over in Europe. Didn't do nothing here. They took a couple years off. They wanted to make something harder. Back up to their rock, to their rock image. And they decided to do a concept album. Okay? And that ended up being Music from the Elder. Sci-fi fantasy kind of concept. There's the Order of the Rose, or whatever it is, the Council of the Rose, who maintains order in on the planet, and then when things go out of sync, they raise up a champion. I believe that if this album came out in 1981, it was their first album to not go gold or platinum. Which was it was a tough one. But had this album came out in 83 or 84, they'd be considered geniuses, because it would have been right in the middle of the Dungeons and Dragons and the fantasy stuff and wizards and all that kind of stuff. Eternal Champions. It would have been right in the middle of all that stuff, and I think people would have gravitated to this album. But it came out in 81. People were looking for hard rock Kiss. They were looking for rock and roll Kiss. Kiss that would come out a little later in Creatures of the Night, the follow-up to this, and Lick It Up. But yeah, this one, it has since, however, gone on to be called one of the greatest concept albums of all time. So as a concept album, the idea of it, right up there with Tommy, right up there with The Wall. Yeah, as a concept album. As a Kiss album, nothing. Didn't do it. Again, first album to not go gold or platinum. standout tracks on it. A World Without Heroes, released as a single. We get a little Gene on this one, singing a heartfelt song. And again, right in line with that sci-fi fantasy kind of feel, right? A World Without Heroes. I'd sing it, but I don't know the words. The song "I," the Ace Frehley vocals on a song called "Dark Light," which has a great solo on it. And what makes that solo even stand out even more is the fact that there's somebody playing the congas. I don't know who it was, but there's congas being played behind it, which just so great. Listen to that song, honestly. Dark Light. Of course, the song Mr. Blackwell. Another amazing song off of that. And Only You is a great song. And Odyssey. The whole album, if as a concept album, you could listen to it front to back, and it is perfect. It really, really is. Again, the album was just smacked down as when it came out. They refused to this day. A lot of them, it's pulling teeth to get them to talk about it. They don't play songs from it. I think the first time they played a song from it was when they did Kiss Unmasked, and they played A World Without Heroes. They don't do it in concert. They just don't. It's hard for them to acknowledge it. But it's such a great album, man. Give it a listen. Frankie, you're going to go see Ace in a couple weeks. Man, last time I saw Ace was a few years ago. He opened up for Alice Cooper. And I took my wife. That was her first Alice Cooper show. We try to see Alice every year now. Whenever we get a chance. We've seen him, I think, 4 times. 4 times? Is that right, honey? Not counting seeing him with the Hollywood Vampires. That would be 5. Oh, what a great show. What a great, and Ace opening up was awesome. Let's move on to the next one. Somebody mentioned this one. I think it was Gina. Gina, if you're still there, here you go. Here's your Prince. Prince and the Revolution. Purple Rain, 1984. Now, I said I wasn't going to do soundtracks, but depending on where you look, Purple Rain was either was a proper album or it was a soundtrack. Oh, okay, M3. Yeah, I wish I was going, but I'll be in Vegas, I think, for M3. But yeah, so Prince, depending on who you ask, what list you look on, Purple Rain is either an album or a soundtrack. I included it. 5 singles, 4 top 10 singles, 2 number 1 singles, 2 Grammys, an Academy Award, a 13-time platinum, inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame, into the Library of Congress. I mean, what more do you need to say about this? What more do you need to say about this album? I can't remember. I know I saw the movie in the theaters when it came out. I bought the soundtrack right after that, but I can't remember if the album or the soundtrack came out first. But yeah, amazing album. Standout tracks from that album for me. Baby, I'm a Star. Whew. How that didn't make it bigger. Especially that end. The callbacks, baby, I'm a star. Oh, and it goes, it's the breakdown. Oh man, I love that. that ending to Baby I'm a Star. Of course, Darling Nikki. You know, the album came out in '84. I'm 18 years old. The hormones are going crazy, and now you're talking. You got a song about a girl who's playing with herself, who's a sexual dynamo. That's you don't need to hear that when you're, you know, it's like the dream girl. It's a girl everybody wants to meet. I want to go to a hotel. To this day, I still walk into hotel lobbies and I'm looking. Nobody. Shit. All right, honey. I'm gonna check in. I didn't see anything. Brian saying "Take Me With You." That is a great song off of that album, also. But yeah, Prince's "Purple Rain," Prince and the Revolution. Might not know it now, baby. I find out that I'm a star. Whoa, 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 whoa! I ain't gonna stop till I reach the top. Sing it, baby. I'm a star. Okay. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up. I don't care why you're hitting it, whether it's a thumbs up, whether it's a smile, whether it's a laugh, whether it's a crying, whether it's a angry emoji. Make sure that you're hitting it. Let me know that you're here. Okay. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're enjoying this in some way, shape, or form. Make sure you throw on your favorite album as I'm going along with this. Okay, a perfect album, not your favorite album, because some of the albums that I'm talking about are not my favorite albums by the bands, but they're perfect albums. For me, I can put the album on, or the CD. It's even better. I can put the CD on because I don't have to flip a CD, and hear it from the first track to the last, no interruptions. The album flows smoothly for me. The album goes great. Each song builds up on the other one. And that's why I love these albums, these complete albums. Craig showing up here, giving us Night Moves by Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. That's a great album. I'm trying to remember how it begins. Foo Fighters is a band. Come on, you got to give me the album. Don't give me that. You know, at least Craig gave me the album there with Night Moves. I know who it is, but Foo Fighters, they got, I don't know, 27 albums or some shit like that. I can't just pick one of their albums. Plus, they're not a band I'm a really big fan of. I know. Stop, settle down. So don't get angry at me. Dave Grohl, also a cheater. You know? So, yeah. Again, so Frankie, I tell you not to give me a band, to give me an album. So what does he do? Doubles down. He goes, Rush. Give me an album. Singles? Signals? Yeah, Bowie. All right, Frankie, I'm going to cut you off. That's it. I'm going to cut you off. You're done. You are done, Frankie. Brian with 9 Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine. What an album. I fought hard about adding that to this list. There was a lot of albums that I had to cut off only because of the fact that I didn't want this to be 75,000 75,000 albums strong. I wasn't gonna have enough time to talk about all of them, so I wasn't. But yeah, that one was up there. Jessica with her husband saying Beastie Boys' License to Ill, the one that started them all for the band, even though that wasn't their first one. That wasn't. Well, I think that was their first full album. Yeah. Ask your husband if he remembers Beastie Boys' Cookie Puss or Fight for Your Right to Party. Beastie Boys started off as a punk band, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people do. Craig, Rush, Moving Pictures. What a great album. Also, I didn't get a chance to put it on here, but I should have. Some of my favorite Rush songs are on that album. Vital Signals, Red Barchetta. Just what a, you know what? Throw it on there. Throw it on there, Craig. Rush, Moving Pictures. You weren't the first to say it, but I'm going to say, yeah, I'm putting that on there. Rush, Moving Pictures. Of course, Tom Sawyer with one of the most recognizable beginnings of any song ever. One of the most recognizable openings. Modern day warrior, mean stride. Today's time to Sawyer, mean ride. Oh, Neil Peart. Oh, Jessica's husband says yes. Does he remember Cookie Puss or does he remember Fight for Your Right to Party? Tom, first of all, it's not mind crime. It's Operation Mind Crime. All right, come on. If you're going to just throw out words, partial album titles, come on, Frankie. You know better. It's Queensryche, by the way, for some of you who might not know that. All right. So I gave you some Prince. Now, here's another one. You people are going to hate it. You're not going to hate the band. You're going to hate my choice for the band. Yes, Fragile. Oh, my God. If you are a prog person, yeah, I love me some Yes. By the way, without flipping you guys off, I don't know if you can notice the difference in my fingers. Probably if I do it this way. Okay. This finger right here, it's bigger. You know why? During a load-in for the band Yes, smashed it in between two set cards. Almost lost the whole tip. Instead, all it did was flatten it out. So, yes, I don't do that to flip you off. I do that because it's actually bigger by half a finger than this one. So this is 2.5 fingers, not 2. Take that for what you guys want. Make sure that you're clicking on those likes. You know what? That 2.5 finger joke should have got somebody to click a like on this. Come on, guys. Anyway, going back to this album, this band, with all the amazing music that they put out, all of the inspiration that this band has set. This band is listed by just about every band to follow in that genre as an inspiration. No, not because it was up my butt, Frankie. Shut up. But you're chatty today, ain't you, Frankie? You're quick on the keyboard today. This band is listed as an inspiration by everybody in the genre. Everybody in the genre. On both sides of the ocean. Yet, they themselves, nothing. A couple of gold certified singles. Their first album was just certified gold a couple years ago. Came out all the way out in the early 70s. I'm talking about the Ramones. And there was quite a few albums that I thought about, adding when I thought about the Aerosmith Toys in the Attic. That's a great that's a great album too. American band, local boys out of Boston. But the Ramones, that's what I'm talking about. Some great albums, solo. The self-titled debut album, Rocket to Russia. Road to Ruin, just some amazing albums. But the one that I'm picking, no, Frankie, I don't remember that. And if I did, I wouldn't mention it because we're not talking about me being a stagehand. We're talking about perfect albums. You knucklehead. But speaking of being a stagehand, I have heard the stories several times from people who were at the Ramones show that turned into a riot down in Virginia Beach. Look that up. When they played Peabody. Well, they didn't play Peabody's. That's why it ended up being a riot. The album that I'm picking from them, though, Speaking Tongues, Brian, Talking Heads, bandmates with the Ramones over at CBGB's, along with Television and Blondie, a bunch of that New York avant-garde, new wave kind of punk. But the album that I'm picking from the Ramones is their 1993 release of covers called Acid Eaters. And the reason I'm picking that one is because it's all covers. And the Ramones It's all covers from songs in the 60s. And the Ramones were known for their covers. And a lot of their covers went on to be fan favorites. You know, and of course, I don't know. I had a list of about 18 fucking covers by him, and I can't remember any of them. Needles and Pins, song that was written by Sonny Bono, big hit for them, a big hit for the Seekers in the 60s. The Riviera's California Sun was another one. Ronettes, Be My Baby. These were all songs that they put that were remakes that they put on various albums throughout their career. Well, in 1993, they decided to just make an album of covers. They called it Acid Eaters. And it was, to me, it's amazing. It's amazing because they had such a love and respect for the music of the 60s, the pop of the 60s, that for them to finally do an entire album was perfect. And they really could have just collected all of the songs that they had done and put it on this album, and everybody would have loved it. Almost like a Ramones cover greatest hits. And everybody would have loved it. They didn't do that, though. Instead, they put some new covers on this. The album, by the way, was able to break into the top 200 albums. I believe it was it got up to 179. And again, like most of the Ramones albums, certified, nothing, zero, no gold, no bronze, no tin, no aluminum, nothing. And this is a band that really talk about on the Mount Rushmore of punk. But you know, a lot of other bands, you know, when you talk about standing on the shoulders of giants, they stand on the shoulders of the Ramones. The Ramones did finally get a little bit of their due when they got inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. However, too little, too late. All the original members were dead by that point. And sad. What a great band. Standout tracks by the way of that. The Who's Substitute, their version of it, and their version of the Amboy Dukes' Journey to the Center of Your Mind, which is like a perfect song for them to cover. Let's see. Brian is coming back in. He gave us Speaking with Tongues by a Talking Head. Then Big Head Todd and the Monsters with Sister Sweetly. What a great album from the early 90s. Big Headed Todd and the Monsters, kind of along there with the Gin Blossoms and Toad the Wet Sprocket, with that kind of music. Really, really good. Worked them a couple times at the Norva and really surprised me how good they were. And when Amanda speaks, when Waldo's mama speaks, you know, I got to give her props. She throws out their Radiohead, The Bends. She said she used to listen to it every night in the late 90s. Honey, I never knew that. I didn't know that you even knew anything by Radiohead except for Creep. And that was a song that I know you dedicated to me more than one time. I know you did, honey. Don't. We got over it. Everything's fine now between us. But come on, you did. All right. What do we got here? We got a couple more albums. I want to see your choices, guys. Make sure that you're throwing up your albums, your perfect albums you could hear from A to Z without having to shut it off, without having to skip a song. Brian hitting us with Live, Throwing Copper. Yep, great album. Lightning Strikes is on that one. What was the other one? I Alone was another one off of that album. Yeah, great, some great stuff right there. Let me give you my next one. And I didn't put a lot about this album, but I figured I had to make sure I included this artist. And he released a couple albums. This is a guy who belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The entire band does. Even though he's the main the main deal, the main focus. His drummer's got the best nickname of anybody, of any active musician. I think so. His drummer's name is John Schwartz. He's known as Bermuda Schwartz. That should tell you who this is. And it's Weird Al. Weird Al Yankovic. What an underrated artist. What an underrated artist. The guy is there are artists out there. Kurt Cobain famously said when Weird Al did the song "Smells Like Nirvana," he had asked for permission because Weird Al goes and he asks for permission from everybody to do their parodies, even though he doesn't need to. He can just, but he has that respect for the artists, and Kurt Cobain said he knew he made it. He knew that Nirvana made it when Weird Al did a parody of one of their songs. So yeah, so it's a big honor for a lot of people. And of course, I wanted to put the album before this, which I believe came out in 85, maybe 86, called Dare to Be Stupid, which I think is an amazing album. It's a great album. But the reality is I would have put that for one song. That song would have been Dare to Be Stupid, which is a song done in the vein, in the stylings of Devo. Great song. Brian hitting us up with STP, Purple. Good album. But I got to go with his 1988, at this point, classic. Even Worse. It charted number 27, his highest ranking album to chart at the time. Brought him back, put him back on the map after the movie UHF, kind of. And he also had an album called Polka Party that he released right before this, which kind of took him out of favor. Then he came back with this one, blew up. Of course, we all know the hit "Fat" instead of "Bad," right? He did a cover of Tiffany's "I Think We're Alone Now." He made it "I Think We're Clone Now." Did a cover of La Bamba, which at the time was released by Los Lobos. His cover was called "Lasagna." Childish, yes. Funny, yes. And talented, make no mistake about it. Weird Al is talented. He always puts his own he always puts his own songs, his own compositions into his albums, and they normally end up, if you listen to his entire albums, they normally end up being some of the best tracks on there. And this album is no exception. The two standout tracks that he does, a song called "You Make Me," which is done in the style of Oingo Boingo. So if you like Oingo Boingo and you get how their music flows, the song "You Make Me," perfect. You could almost hear Danny Elfman singing it, actually. And then the other one, which is a love song, but it's a Weird Al love song. It's a song called "Melanie," and it's a song about this guy who falls in love with this girl. He's a stalker, and she rejects all of his stalkerish advances, and he kills himself. It's Weird Al. What do you want? But yet, it's this beautiful song. Believe it or not, the melody, Melanie's the name. The melody is nice. The musical arrangements is really nice. It's a great song. But anyway, I had to throw some Weird Al on there. So we got about 10 minutes. I want to hear some of your albums real quick. We got some good stuff that was being thrown out earlier, and then everybody kind of went away. I hope that you guys are still there. And I hope that you're still listening, and that you guys are really just thinking about albums right now. Make sure before I give you my last album that you hit the thumbs up, that you hit the smiling, the like, the laughter, the hate, the crying. I don't care what it is, but hit the reaction button. That's what I need you guys to hit. Make sure that if you can't watch this on Facebook Live, that you go over to my buddy Scotty Costa. His real name's Joel, but AKA Scotty Costa. He's got a YouTube channel called Yeah Man. It's called Yeah Man. Yeah, I didn't name it, but because he always goes Yeah Man. That's where he gets it from. Just like I was forever Dudes, as dudes, because that's what I used to do on the radio. So he became Yeah Man. He's got a channel called Yeah Man. Go like and subscribe. He puts out a lot of content, and part of the content that he puts out is this, where he downloads it or uploads it. He streams it at the same time. So if you're ever at a place that you can't get on Facebook on Sundays, but you can still get YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe to him and follow him, so that this way you can still catch the debacle, the Sunday Debacle, through YouTube. All right. Brian hitting us up with a Red Hot Chili Peppers classic, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Yes, I remember when that came out. Even though, and it's a great album. It is. Suck My Kisses on that. Sir Psycho Sexy, another great song that's on that album. What's up, Ken? Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joel, for putting up that link to YouTube. You guys click on it. Make sure that you like and subscribe and follow him, so you can see the show on so you can see the show whenever you want, because he uploads it. So if you gotta haul ass, before the show's over, or you can't make it at the beginning, bam, you can catch the show on his channel. So make sure that you show him some love and some support out there. You know what would make Blood Sugar Sex Magic 100% perfect? If it had the song off of Mother's Milk called Knock Me Down. That, when I was on radio, Red Hot Chili Peppers song Knock Me Down was my theme song. And the reason it was my theme song is because a lot of people who go on radio get really, really big heads. They really think that they're people because, they're on the air and they have fans and they have people who follow them. They have people who like them. And I had my share. The problem with me, and I never got that. Never got that way. And the reason I never got that way is because while I was this big shot radio personality, I was homeless. I'm living in people's garages, people's kitchens. I'm sleeping on people's couches. I'm working another job while I'm on the air because I'm making no fucking money. The Howard Sterns and the Don Imuses and the Ryan Seacrests, they're rare. The majority of people, the majority of them make a comfortable living, but a lot of them are at the bottom of the barrel, man. And I never felt that I could act like a big shot when I'm living over somebody's garage, I'm sleeping on somebody's couch. How the fuck could I act like that? So The Red Hot Chili Peppers have the song "Knock Me Down." If you see me getting mighty, if you see me getting high, knock me down. I'm not bigger than life. That was it. I'm not bigger than life. Who the fuck am I to ever act like I'm somebody when I'm working security at the Norva? You know, getting hit in the back of the neck with a fucking fire extinguisher. You know, breaking up fights while I'm a big shot fucking DJ. I couldn't. There was no way I could. Even though I saw some people who would act that way. Because they were on the radio like they were big shots. It's like, who the fuck are you guys? You know? So yeah. So Knock Me Down was always my theme song. Till I got out of radio, and then there was no need for me to act like a big shot or for anybody to knock me down because I became a regular Joe. So Jessica, Korn, Follow the Leader. Korn's first album, I saw them as openers over at the Boathouse. They were opening up for Biohazard and for House of Pain. And shocked the shit out of me. Great band. And Jonathan Davis, just when I got to interview him when I was on the radio, great guy. Remembered the Boathouse, remembered that show. So cool. So let me hit you up. Let me hit you up with my number 11 perfect album. Front to back. I can hear it from the first note to the last note. And it is oh, it's nice that your husband's name is John Davis. I figured it was Davis because you're Jessica Davis now. Well, tell Mr. John Davis I said hello. And here's the last one, number 11 on my list of 11 perfect albums, front to back, number 1 to the last track. And I thought hard because there was a couple of albums that I thought about. I thought about Run DMC's King of Rock. I thought about Follow the Leader by Eric B. and Rakim. I thought about NWA Straight Outta Compton. I thought about I'm Bad by LL. But if I was going to throw a hip hop album here, it had to be this one. It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Public Enemy came out in 1988, and it's considered by many to be the greatest hip hop album of all time. A lot of people consider it to be the number one hip hop album of all time. Considered to be one of the greatest albums in general to have ever been recorded. Let's see here. The album itself, certified platinum. 5 singles were released from the album, include Bring the Noise, which a lot of people will remember that as the remake or the remake that was done with Public Enemy and Anthrax. Don't Believe the Hype. I already said Bring the Noise, Do the Right Thing. Yeah, the movie actually had a song on it, which everybody knows, Fight the Power, which was included on the re-release of It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. When the album was re-released, they included it. That song was released as a single, and then was but it wasn't on any album. It was on the soundtrack to Do the Right Thing. But it wasn't on any proper album. So they ended up putting it on the re-release. What an incredible mixture of sound, of lyrics, of urgency. It was amazing. It still is amazing. Standout tracks on it. Bring the Noise, of course. She Watched Channel Zero. And then, of course, the song that Brian just said, Night of the Living Bassheads. There it is. Bam. And you say, God damn, this is a dope jam. But let's define the word called dope. If you think it means funky, well, no. Oh, man. I'm talking about bass. Was the night bass? Was the night bass? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got together to rock the bells, whatever. Just a great. That's a great song. It's a great album. I mean, it's the last album on my list of 11 albums that I think are great. I can listen to front to back. Honey, get ready for a little Night of Living Bassheads as I get off here, because now I got that song in my head. Succotash is something that means, I don't know, selling drugs to the brother man instead of the other man. I'm talking about bass. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you were able to come up with some perfect albums of your own, that you guys were able to, that you're going to go. Yeah, Black Steel in the Hour, Chaos. Yep, that's another song that's on that album. But I'm hoping that you guys got some energy to go and it's only 8 o'clock. It's all right for you to throw on an album right now and play it front to back, perfect album, and enjoy your night, regardless of what it is. Regardless, whether it's Prince's Purple Rain, whether it's The Cure's Disintegration, whether it's Rush's Moving Pictures, Live, Throwing Copper, Metallica, Ride the Lightning, Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche, Korn, Follow the Leader. I don't care what it is. Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic, Nine Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine. Just going over some of the albums that you guys throw. Yes, Fragile. What an amazing album that one is. Yeah. Just go on and check these albums out. Listen to some of your favorites, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll come back again next week, next Sunday, where oh, honey, how can I? So I'm going to see real quick. I'm going to see Melissa Etheridge tomorrow. Come through my window. What a stalkerish song! I had to mention that. Come through my window. Wait by the light of the moon. Come through my window. I'll be home soon. No, don't come through my window. Just wait in the fucking driveway. Why are you breaking into my house? Don't do that. Don't do that. Neighbors are gonna look at you coming in. They're gonna call the cops. It's gonna be this huge to do. Wait in the fucking driveway. Wait in the driveway. I'll be home soon. That's it. That's it. Call me when you get there. I left the key under the mattress. Let yourself in, but don't fucking come in through the window. Anyway, so I'm gonna see. The wife and I are gonna go see Melissa Etheridge tomorrow. But then, how the fuck did I not put this? I gotta mention this album because we're gonna go see this band. Good night, Jessica. Take care, hon. We're gonna go see this band on Wednesday. The Fix. And a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go listen to this album right now. Reach the Beach. Perfect album, front to back. What a great, great, great album. And my darling wife and I are going to get to hear that album, or at least songs from it, when they play it on Wednesday up at Wolf Trap when we go to see them. So, yay! Tell you guys all about it next week. In the meantime, thanks for sticking around with me, guys. I really appreciate it. On your way out, make sure you click that thumbs up button. Make sure that you go to Yeah Man's YouTube channel and subscribe to it, so that this way you can watch this show again, or watch the first half or the last half, or catch any shows that you missed. All right. I'll see you guys again next week. So until then, take care. God bless. And to my children, don't forget Daddy loves you. Paisley on, everybody. Later, dudes.